What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Warlords of Draenor live developer Q&A. My name is Josh Allen, also known as Community Manager Lore, and we have a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about today. We're going to start with an introduction to what's going on in the Warlords of Draenor expansion, talk a little bit about the Garrison feature. In fact, we're going to talk a lot about the Garrison's feature, and also a whole bunch of other stuff we've got going on in the world of Draenor. But before we get into any of that, let me introduce the two fine gentlemen sitting next to me. First off, we have Dave Kosak, who is our lead narrative designer on World of Warcraft, and also in charge of a lot of the story development.
Right, that's right. So the story in Warlords especially is very, very collaborative. So we have a lot of people contributing to the story. So as lead narrative designer, I just try and gather everything together, make sure it all makes sense. I work with our casting director and our voice actors to make sure that we're really creating these characters and selling these characters. I work with the quest design team to make sure that we're really getting that story across.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Also joining us is Cory Stockton, who is a lead game designer on the team, and also one of the masterminds behind the Garrison's feature.
Yeah, it's definitely been taking up a lot of my time, this expansion, but it's great. It's really fun to work on something that's so new and so fresh. You know, something completely different. Every expansion really keeps it exciting. So I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Just a real quick reminder to everybody before we get started, we will be taking your questions live through Twitter. If you have a question, go ahead and send that over using the hashtag WarlordsQA. And we will have somebody, we actually have Crypto backstage who is keeping track of all of those questions and will be picking out some good ones for us here very, very shortly. So just to get things sort of kicked off here, let's sort of set the stage a bit. What's going on in Draenor? Why are we here?
Our main villain from the Mist of Pandaria expansion, Garrosh Hellscream, he slipped the noose, he's escaped justice, and with the help of a bronze dragon, he's gone to a world that's really familiar to him. He's gone to a world that's identical to the Draenor that he grew up in 35 years ago. And he's going to try and get all the classic war chiefs together, kind of like the greatest hits of the 70s, and he's going to form the idealized horde that he always wanted to build.
Getting the band back together.
He's getting the band back together, and so we're seeing war chiefs from Warcraft 1 and 2 that we haven't seen in years. And he's forming the Iron Horde, and the Iron Horde, he wants to get vengeance on the Alliance and Horde from our world that brought him to justice. So he's going to come through the portal to our present-day Azeroth and really try and mess us up. So we've got to stop him, and that means we're going to have to go to Draenor, and we're going to have to stop him.
Awesome. So it's November 13th.
Right.
I just got home, plugged in the expansion, got my key set up and everything.
Fired up, ready to go.
Loading up, blue bars going across. It finishes. I load into the game. What's my first task? What am I immediately setting out to do?
All right, so step one is the Iron Horde is coming through the dark portal. There's an army pouring out of this portal. We've got to shut it down, and we're going to try and shut it down from the other side. And so we've got some heroes with us. We've got Archmage Khadgar. He's familiar with this. We've got Thrall. We've got Murad on the Alliance side. We're going to go through this portal, and I think you're seeing some shots of it right now. And the other side of the portal is Tanaan Jungle, and this is what you might recognize as Hellfire Peninsula once the jungle was all scorched. But this is Tanaan Jungle. And we're going to have to face off against all the warlords. We're going to try and shut down the portal. The plan immediately goes south. It doesn't quite work out the way Khadgar wanted, and then we're going to be on the run. We will eventually shut down the portal, but the Iron Horde is still there. They're still a threat. They still want to come back to Azeroth. And so we're going to need to plant roots in Draenor. We're going to need to build up a base. We're going to need to befriend the locals, and we're going to need to try and take down the Iron Horde from Draenor.
Right, because we go through the portal, we shut it down from the other side, but oh crap, that was our ticket back home.
That's our ticket back home, yeah.
So how do things sort of progress from there? Like you're saying, like making friends with the locals and stuff.
Right, okay, so after Tanaan Jungle, then the Alliance and Horde are going to split up. The Alliance is going to go contact the Draenei of Shadowmoon Valley. And Shadowmoon Valley, at this time, very pristine, very beautiful, and it's home of the Temple of Karabor, which will eventually become the Black Temple, but now it's a beautiful, pristine place. And we're going to try to form a friendship with the Draenei this time and build up a garrison, build up a base in Shadowmoon Valley. That's the Alliance players. The Horde players are going to go to one of the Orc clans that didn't join the Iron Horde, and that's the Frostwolf clan, led by Duratan. and they are in Frostfire Ridge. So very cold, very barren, very harsh environment that the Frost Wolves can thrive in. Yeah, we're seeing it on the screen right now. You're going to befriend the Frost Wolves. They are in a lot of trouble. Their back's up against the wall. The Iron Horde's coming after them. The Ogres are coming after them. We gotta help save the day, and then really build a base there in Frostfire with the Frost Wolves, and then work from there.
Right. Yeah. So that's where the garrison starts to come into play.
Exactly.
But before we start moving into talking about garrisons, let's go ahead and grab a question from Twitter real quick. This one comes from Alternative Chat. And Alternative Chat asks, what advice would you give to a new player for whom Warlords of Draenor is their first expansion? Maybe even like their first experience with World of Warcraft.
That is a really good question.
It is.
I would say World of Warcraft is a very social game, so it's important. Try and find some friends right away. So you can real life friends obviously are the most fun to play with, but you can go online, try and find a guild, try and find some people, because I think that really helps you get involved in the world. And this expansion, by the way, is the perfect time to start. You won't miss out on anything. You can boost a character to level 90, so you can be playing the content that everybody else is playing. So you'll be right with all the other players. You'll be right in the thick of things. So it's a good time to start. And I would say try and find a group to play with, because that's going to make the game the most fun.
Yeah. I think my biggest suggestion would be the game's really large. There's lots of different things to do. And don't get overwhelmed and feel like you have to play it a certain way. That's really the beauty of WoW, is that we tried to design the game in a way that you can do what you like and still make progress. So if you're really into solo questing, you can solo quest all the way through to 100 that way. If you want to run dungeons, you can do that too. If you're into PvP, we can let you go up that way. I think you don't always have to feel like you're guided on a path, although we will provide that. If you want that, you can break off from that and really play any way you want. Awesome.
So let's start talking about garrisons. Cool. Cory, you said earlier that this is something you've been putting a ton of time into this lately. What sort of made it like Warlords of Draenor is the right time to do something like this? Where did the sort of idea to start and put this into the game come from?
Well, the general idea of something, the kind of the base concept of housing in WoW is something we've talked about for a long time. But we knew we never wanted to do just basic housing where you could pick the color of your curtains or just, have a certain NPCs or something be around and kind of create like a little area. What we wanted to do was something that would actually change the gameplay. And this expansion kind of offers that perfect time to do that. We've come through the portal, we can't get back, we have to establish a base here on Draenor. It's kind of the perfect time for us to really put that idea into play and see what we could do with it. And so I think we've really come up with something that is going to change the way that you play WoW. Every day you log in, we want you to actually interact with your garrison and do something there. And that was really the goal.
There's a couple things we really love about the Garrison. One is it gets back to that Warcraft RTS feel, because you're building up your base. It feels like a Warcraft 3 base that you're building over time. The other thing we really like about it is that it gives your character sort of an external progression. Even after you hit max level, you get to feel like you're continuing to grow in power, and nothing feels more powerful, I'll say, than having this huge fortress, and all these guys are saluting you, and all these guys are calling you commander, and you're in charge of this giant base.
For a long time, we've been able to give you, a really cool weapon or a huge, awesome set of shoulders with particles on it. Now we can give you a mage tower, this huge, awesome-looking building that's established in the world, and you can bring your friends over, and they can see it. So it's really kind of like a whole new level of rewards for the game as well.
Sweet. So, like you're saying, it's sort of your home base on Draenor. This is Garrison. It's you're in charge. This is your place. How does that sort of fit into the leveling and questing experience as you're working your way to level 100?
Well, we've kind of designed the thing so that there's an entire experience that you have during the level up, and then there's also an experience that you'll have at max level. So you'll establish your garrison right away. You'll be not even an hour into the expansion, you'll have your garrison ready to go. You'll be sending guys out and working on things right off the bat. But you're going to obviously level through the zones and head off to other areas. So what you do is you're going to get a chance to establish an outpost in every zone. At that outpost, you'll be able to choose from a couple different building options. The building you choose will offer a unique quest line. Completing that line and finishing up the zone will reward you with an ability that you can use in that zone for the rest of the game. For any time you come back to that zone, doing max level content in that zone, and you'll do that through every zone all the way to level 100. So those things are not only cool during the level up process, they offer unique quest lines, abilities, but when you come back at max level, you can choose to swap, maybe pick the other building, take a different ability, and so it's something that's going to play in the whole time.
Sweet. So, from the sounds of things, and as we've been working through development, garrisons have actually evolved quite a bit from what we were first thinking when we were started talking about them at BlizzCon. What are some of the ways that the whole feature has sort of like grown and evolved since those sort of early days and working in the concept status?
Well, I think a lot of our base kind of guidelining principles of what we wanted to do, we had established at BlizzCon, and we talked about a lot of stuff at BlizzCon. What we didn't have were details. We didn't really know exactly how it was going to work. We knew that you could build a building, and we wanted to have it give you a buff or give you a power-up. Over time, we really felt like that wasn't enough. You know, the buildings really are the core of what you're doing. You're getting to build these buildings, they give you abilities, they change your gameplay. As we got more into the details, we realized that we really have to sink a lot of effort into that. So when you build a building, there's an NPC there that's offering you a quest right away, and that quest sends you off into the world to do some sort of gameplay you've never done before. You're chopping down trees, you know, you're going off into different areas, and you're driving a vehicle in any zone in the game. Things like that we haven't been able to do before, and that's really what the buildings give us access to. So we spent a lot of time there, and then we also just spent a lot of time trying to make it feel right. Originally, the Garrison was really big, and we had a lot of NPCs, and we got a lot of feedback that felt odd. You know, it was kind of big, it was hard to navigate. It didn't feel like your own. It didn't feel like something I had established. Maybe someone else did, and I just showed up. So we took that feedback to heart. We've really tried to squish them down and make them feel like a place that's homey, but you get to pick to put that big barracks or that big mage tower or whatever you want, you know, somewhere in the Garrison. I think that's really paid off. We've seen solid feedback on those changes, and, you know, keep the feedback coming. You know, we're going to keep integrating on that stuff.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time integrating the Garrison into all the other zones with the outposts, like we just talked about. Quest givers that you meet out in the field might come back to your Garrison as followers, so that it really feels like your Garrison's part of the world, not like a separate feature, but something that you're constantly building up on.
100%.
Awesome. Real quick, let's go ahead and check back over on Twitter and see what people are asking about garrisons. This question actually comes from Ann Stickney from WoW Insider. She asks, can you explain how professions work and exactly what their purpose is in Warlords, particularly in regards to garrison buildings?
That is an awesome question. It's a question I see in the forums all the time. I see it on Twitter. And it's something that's pretty different for this expansion. It's probably the biggest change we've made to professions that I can remember in an expansion. Essentially, the concept is you're going to be able to build a building for every profession. You can choose to build that building whether you know that profession or you don't. So let's take blacksmithing, for example. If you are a blacksmith, building that building offers you benefits that are really great. Number one, you're going to be able to make a daily cooldown that's much quicker than you would have had before. So if you want to build a really epic item, you'd be able to build that item in half the time someone else would. It also is going to offer you access to the highest tier recipes that you can get in blacksmithing. So let's say you're not a blacksmith. But you really want to make armor and weapons. You think that's super cool. You can build a blacksmith, and you'll have an NPC there that can craft those items for you. That guy just can't craft the absolute best items, right? And you're also not going to have access to 2 daily cooldowns. You'll get the 1 for having the building, so you can make really great stuff, just not as fast as an actual blacksmith would be able to do it. And that applies to all the professions across the board. So we've got motivations for you to actually have the building if you know that profession, but also, you know, there's really good motivation there to have the building if you don't. Maybe you want some alchemy potions. So you have access to a pretty wide variety of alchemy potions, but you can still keep, you know, blacksmithing and mining as your 2 main professions.
Awesome. A lot more flexibility with professions.
And that's just the profession part, right? All the buildings also offer, at level 2, they offer a really cool, unique perk that you would get if you can slot a follower into that building. You get like a unique bonus. So for blacksmithing, for example, you get one called Song of the Anvil that lets you actually not get wear and tear damage on you. It's a 4-hour buff. You can get it at the blacksmith building, head out, run a dungeon, get no wear and tear damage. While you have the buff, you've got a chance that you'll proc a little blacksmithing elemental, and it'll come in and help you fight. And all the buildings have a unique little thing like that set up with them.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and grab one more question from Twitter real quick. This one comes from Swirly Ball, who says, how does inviting someone to my garrison work? Can they use the portals I've unlocked in my Spirit Lodge?
Another awesome question. It's something that we've heard a lot about, you know, how is the garrison going to work with other people, things like that. Essentially, we've tried to make it really simple where it works with the party system. So if you have other people in your party, there's an option. You can right-click on your portrait and choose which garrison you want to go to. Go to the party leader's garrison. So me and Dave are in a group. want to go to Dave's garrison, he can flip that switch, and when we walk into his garrison, let's say he has the mage tower, he's got a portal open to Nagrand, which is where one of our raid zones are, High Mall. The whole guild could come with us, and go through that portal and go out to High Mall through that portal, and we could have access to that benefit. We could also see, what buildings Dave has made. We've got a concept of monuments. Monuments unlock based on achievements. So it's kind of like the ultimate kind of, way to show that Dave has done something and show it off to his friends. So when we go into his garrison, we would see all his monuments. Things like that. We've tried to really push it so that every benefit you get, you can share as much as you can. One pretty cool one, the trading post building has the option to build an auction house robot.
Oh, awesome.
So there's a little quest. We send you out into the world. You collect about 20 different pieces from dungeons, from zones, all over the place. Put them all together. You can access the auction house. So then, anyone in the guild could come and do that from that area.
Now, the other cool thing about inviting your friends over is periodically your garrison will get invaded.
Oh, yeah.
And that's pretty cool. Some of the bad guys in Draenor are going to come storming at your garrison. All of your followers, if you've equipped them, they're going to be out there fighting. You're going to be fighting. And you can invite your friends in to help you fight off the invasion. So you can have all your buddies come to your garrison and help fight off the
That's a feature we put a lot of work into. There's 6 or 7 different invasions. Every time they play out, they're different. They're using our new kind of AI technology that we have where we can random things up. So sometimes they'll attack buildings, sometimes they'll attack your walls, sometimes they'll kidnap followers and take them away. So every time you do an invasion, it's a little bit different. It's a pretty cool system. It works kind of like the challenge dungeons where we actually grade you and give you a bronze, silver, or gold medal so you can get better rewards based on how good you do it. So it's a good idea to get your friends in with you, and do that with more people because you'll probably have a better chance at doing better at it, and everyone will get those better rewards.
Awesome. So looking back to the leveling experience a bit, obviously the garrison is a huge part of the leveling experience, but there's a lot of other stuff that's going on as well. Like there's rare mobs, there's treasures, all sorts of stuff actually just going on and hanging out in the world. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, that's actually one of our big pushes with Warlords of Draenor. We did a little bit of this in Pandaria. You might remember as you were exploring Pandaria, you might find a treasure. They were pretty rare, but we like that idea. We like that the world felt more dynamic, more active. So we've spent a lot of time in Warlords of Draenor, and if you're playing in the beta or when it comes out, you can see this, you can really feel it. There's much more happening on the map all around you. There's lots of rare spawns, there's lots of rare bosses, lots of treasures hidden in little niches and nooks. So we really reward you for exploring. It also breaks up the questing a lot. It's a much more sort of open field. There's areas that just sort of have dynamic objectives that pop up when you come there. So there's just lots to do, lots more to do to kind of break up your gameplay.
Get you off that normal path.
Right.
It's not just quest to quest. Head off, grab this treasure, maybe I end up in a canyon, there's a rare mob down there.
Get some buddies together, everybody starts grouping up on that guy. Yeah. So it feels a lot more dynamic, and that's pretty exciting for us. And that carries on all the way up to max level, and definitely at max level, all those areas are really dynamic.
Yeah. Awesome. And all the questing is all there still too. This is just extra stuff on top of that.
Exactly. I mean, the questing won't feel that different other than it'll feel like there's more going on around you.
So while you're out, killing a bunch of ogres or whatever, you come across a treasure chest, you come across a rare mob.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing.
We've had a lot of time to really work on our core quest system. We really like where that's at. This is really adding some pepper and some spice to help break up those moments.
Right.
And then each zone actually has like a max level area set aside, right? Exactly. How does that work?
So that's something, again, we were looking at from Mr. Pandaria. We like having a lot of max level content to do once your character levels up. So we thought that was good in Pandaria, but we also looked at the ways to do it. A whole bunch of daily quests that just felt a little too repetitive. No, it didn't really scratch the itch for us. And you saw we experimented in Pandaria with a lot of different things. In 5.3, we had the Battlefield Barons. In 5.4, we introduced the Timeless Isle. And I think the Timeless Isle, it probably feels the closest to what these max level zones feel like. They're very dynamic. There's lots of different rare spawns. There's lots of different stuff there that'll happen, that'll trigger off. And instead of being given sort of directed quests, you're given a choice at your garrison every day. There's a couple areas they need help with all around the world. and we send you to that area, and you can do anything in that area, killing mobs, gathering stuff,
have like a
rescuing
bar.
prisoners. Yeah, you fill up a bar on the bottom of your screen to kind of, and so it's up to you what you do. And some of those areas are max level group areas, kind of like the dinosaur island on Pandaria, because we love
a wide variety of
group
difficulties,
content.
so you can choose. If you can find a few friends, you can do the hard stuff one night, but another night you could solo that.
If you're really into PvP, you also have the option of doing PvP stuff.
Ashran's included in that rotation.
Exactly.
Sometimes we'll send you there.
So a lot of variety in max level. We really want it to feel like you can be doing this every day and you always see something different. And because it's spread out all around the world, because there's all the zones have a max level area, those choices you made that we talked about, which garrison buildings you build in your outposts, that's affecting your max level gameplay. And if you build the stables, you can get ride mounts in combat on top of your mount. That kind of thing. Those decisions you made during level up come to play in max level.
So, and we talked about this a little bit earlier too, but the garrison is also something that at max level, there's a lot to do with your garrison there as well. What sort of stuff can you do with your garrison at max?
Yeah, one thing that we have going on, there's actually a lot going on, but one thing that we have going on is kind of an ongoing story quest. So every week or so, you're going to get a quest at your garrison, and it'll lead you off somewhere in the world. It's a little like the 5-1 dailies, if you guys did those in like Operation Shield Wall, where there was an ongoing quest line. We have about 16 weeks or so of content that you can do. It'll start in your garrison, and you'll go out in the world and eventually, kind of discover one of the Burning Blade warlords that you'll take care of. So that's going on.
It's like a progression, almost a little bit different.
Yeah.
We've also got really the level 3 of the buildings is kind of it's something that becomes available once you get a tier 3 garrison, and those really offer the most interesting kind of high level bonuses that we could do. They're things that are kind of like they break the rules. It's kind of the way we had looked at a lot of those buildings. Like the barracks building offers you a chance to get a bodyguard, and you can take that bodyguard out with you anywhere in the world. You can take it to these high-level quest areas. You can take it with you, to different zones, whatever you want to do with it. You can get a vehicle from the workshop, and you can call down this vehicle, and actually take it to any zone in the world and use it. It's got a limited, health bar. Once it blows up, you can't get it again until the next day. But for that period of time, you can feel like it's something really strong and powerful. And that's where the choice of those buildings will really play in. You can decide, I'm not into the mage tower anymore. You can blow it up, build the workshop instead. And none of these choices that you make are permanent, right? You always have the option to build something else.
The important thing is we really wanted active choices. We really want to feel like when you build the barracks and you get the bodyguard, that's a choice you can make. It's something really cool that really pays off that decision that you made.
Sweet. All right, so let's start diving into some questions that we're getting in directly from Twitter. This one comes from Magdalena DK. Says, could you tell us a little bit about the proposed storyline behind the Warlords of Draenor legendary rings?
Yeah. So for the legendary quest this time, you'll be working with Archmage Khadgar, and he's going to be crafting for you a ring. I don't want to get too much into the story. I don't want to spoil it. I'll let you guys discover that. But over the course of the expansion, you'll be upgrading this ring until it is just phenomenal, legendary power. Magic rings. Nothing ever goes wrong with that. That's a safe bet. You'll be working very closely with Khadgar. And for the legendary quest this time, we learned a lot from Pandaria. We really wanted to stick to just sort of PvE with this one. So if you're worried there's not going to be a legendary PvP quest, I think a lot of people complained about that one. We don't have any rep grinds. We kept it very simple. It's very much about the dungeons, about the raids. And you can start at level 98, actually. So you can kind of start the legendary quest even before you hit max level, kind of start working with Khadgar right away. So that's pretty exciting. I think people have a lot of fun with that.
Awesome. Question here from the Firkins says, how much Bud Nedrick will we see in Warlords?
I don't think Bud made the cut
he made
this
the
time.
trip.
Yeah, presumably he's sailing somewhere. Is what we think. Yeah.
We have a couple other characters. Nat Pagel made the trip. He's a guy that you'll be able to get at the fishing shack in the garrison. There's a few others that have made the trek over through the portal.
Sweet. I think we're getting this question a little bit ready still, so apologies if it doesn't show up on the screen right away. But it says, it's from BB Mezzi. Says, will dismissed followers keep their experience when they're rehired back, or could you just forget about the follower cap?
We've actually, that's a great question. We've actually just made a change to the way that follower stuff is going to work. It'll probably be in our next beta push, but instead of dismissing followers, we're actually going to have a system where you just deactivate them. So instead of having to get rid of them completely and then have a contract vendor where you buy them back, now you're just going to be able to right-click on a follower in the UI and just say deactivate, and then they'll all stay in the list. He'll keep all his experience, he'll keep everything he has. And then how it's going to work is you could then reactivate up to 1 follower a day. So it's essentially on about like a day cooldown, and it'll cost, there's a gold cost, I think, I don't know, something like 200 gold or something like that. And you'll be able to reactivate that follower back into your active list. That came from feedback directly that we got from beta, just on that feeling of, I want to collect everything, but I feel like you guys aren't letting me collect everything.
It felt like it should be a collection.
It really did. So we wanted to be able to support that. So that's a change we just made.
Awesome. Now, the active followers, it's interesting because we tried to make it a really important decision. I mean, you really decide who your A-list roster is. You really build a team with different abilities and different skills, and you might want a blacksmith just because you want someone working the blacksmith thing. Everybody will have kind of different reasons for picking different followers.
That way, we can have the cap is important because it makes sure that when you're deciding what guys you want to send on missions and what you want to do, that's an interesting gameplay decision. That's really the core of the system. We want the gameplay to feel fun, have it be interesting. If you could have unlimited followers available all the time, you'd have 20 followers with the one ability that we're looking for.
Right.
So like Dave said, we want there to be some choice there. When you put a follower in a building, you can't send them on a mission. That needs to be an interesting decision. Same thing when you're sending followers on missions. Which missions do I want to do in the list? Do I have a follower ready to do that? Kind of building that up.
Right, but this way with the just the active and deactive sort of follower system, it's not so much that you're saying, well, I don't need you anymore, you're fired.
Nope.
It's more like, just take a couple of days off.
That's exactly. You're on vacation for a little bit, and then you can come back.
Awesome. Another question here from Joshua902 says, are garrisons account-wide or per character?
Another good question. Garrisons are character-wide. There's a number of reasons we did that. Honestly, we really felt like that it's something that feels unique to that individual character. What we did is we took certain parts of the system and made them account-wide. Things that we felt like would be really painful for you to have to do over and over and over again. So one great example of that is we just made the level 3 blueprints for all buildings be account-wide. So instead, and the reason why is because those are on achievements that are pretty hard to get. Those achievements are probably going to take a number of weeks to earn. And so once you put in the time for that, we really felt like you should be able to get those on any of your characters across the board. Whereas the level 1 and 2 blueprints just cost gold on the vendor, right? So there's not some sort of hardcore achievement associated with it. So that was something we made, and we'll continue to look. If there's other things like that feel like they're right to make account-wide, we will do that. But other than that, every character on your account can have their own garrison, very similar to the way the farm worked in Pandaria.
Awesome. Question here from Rainy Ida. I think that's how you pronounce that. Apologies if I got that one wrong. Asking, how will the new endgame story quest lines work? How many of them? How long does a quest line take? And are they repeated? That's a they question that you fit
How
into.
did he get that in the Twitter?
Yeah,
right.
it's 140 characters.
Well done, guy whose name we can't pronounce.
So how do they work? How many of them? How long do they take? And are they repeatable?
Let's see. I think we talked about most of this. So there's, I think about 16 is the number we came into, and there's just one a week, and they're not repeatable, although they take place, a lot of them, in the max level areas. So if your friend's on a quest, you can join them, and then you'll probably have plenty to do in the max level area because there'll be dynamic events around it and such. We really tried to make it so you can play the quest together.
We tried to match up. So when you get a story quest, that the max level area it sends it to tries to pick an area that's similar, so you'll be able to kind of 2-for-1 some of those things.
Yeah. The story, the first few weeks, you're really just going to be kind of building up your garrison and meeting some of the cast of characters and helping the different groups that you're working with. It really starts to pick up steam around the 8 weeks or so in, because then we start really unveiling the Burning Blade War Chief and kind of what's happening there, and then it builds up to a big climax. So. Yeah, depending on if you're on the ball, you're playing the quest every week. It's about 12 to 16 weeks, I think.
Awesome. Question from Belf Druid for the win. Also goes by Rylan Jenkins. Yeah. Can I get some guards from any exalted faction for my garrison, or just the 7 racial factions?
Well, we have all the racial factions, and we also just recently added Death Knight guards. So we did do one outside of the normal racial factions. So to get those, you obviously your character needs to be a Death Knight, and you got to be exalted with Knights of the Ebon Blade, and then that converts all the guards to Death Knights as well with glowing eyes, the whole deal. They're all dressed up in the gear. That's actually one of the cool customization things we got in pretty late in the game. But it feels pretty cool. It comes with banners, so you get banners that match that racial faction and stuff. So definitely a cool way to customize your garrison.
Spookiest garrison ever.
Oh, for sure.
Awesome. Still getting another question that's live from Twitter, so I'll take one of these that we had pre-prepared ahead of time. Let's see, what's a good one here? This one's from Corcron Fanboy. Says, will Vol'jin's new bodyguard be revealed or have a name?
I'm not going to talk about his bodyguard. That'll we'll let that settle for a little bit. However, something really kind of cool about Vol'jin, the Shadow Hunters are his kind of elite group. We used to see Shadow Hunters maybe in vanilla. We haven't seen them for a while, but these guys are really cool. And in the way that the Corcron kind of shadowed Garrosh, the Shadow Hunters will shadow, so to speak, Vol'jin. And they're kind of like the equivalent of SI7 for the Alliance. In fact, the Alliance will be working a lot with SI7 in their garrison, when the Horde will be working a lot with Vol'jin's Shadow Hunters.
You see the Shadow Hunters come in right when you establish your garrison. They come through the portal right at the beginning there.
And they got your back. They're kind of Vol'jin's eyes and ears here in Draenor with you, and so you'll be working very closely with them, working very closely with them in the max level chapters, just as the Alliance is working very closely with SI7. So we'll have a lot of fun with those guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Also, for the record, just because you don't know Vol'jin's bodyguard's name, it doesn't mean he doesn't have one. he just hasn't told it to you.
It's very private.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very, very, very secretive person. Here's a question from Blue Gamma. Says, when we enter the portal and when we, quote unquote, disable the portal, I felt like I had to throw in the finger quotes there to get the full effect. Will we be stuck in Draenor?
So story-wise, you're kind of stuck in Draenor for a little bit. Now, gameplay-wise, your Hearthstone still works. You can always
you'll be able to do
right back. Just for gameplay reasons. Eventually, with the help of Archmage Khadgar, we'll open up some more permanent portals to help other reinforcements come through. Actually, originally, as we were developing the game, it was we kind of were really hardcore. That
we were.
It was going to be really hard to get back and forth between Azeroth and Draenor, and it just felt more fun to be able to bring more parts of Azeroth in, just here and there.
The player hubs in Ashran are a great example of that. It's the concept there is that they're not exactly full capital cities, right? But they would offer all the services that a normal capital would. But we wanted it to feel like something like, they've slowly brought forces through the portal and been able to set something up that really kind of highlights all the races. We really push hard on those to kind of make sure that they feel like everything's represented. And there's portals there that will take you back to the normal, capital cities that you would expect.
Yeah, we loosened up quite a bit. And it just felt more fun to have a little more interplay between the two worlds.
In the end, we have to support that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's just a huge part of the Blizzard development process as well, is try this, see if it's fun, make changes.
It's very iterative. Yeah.
Awesome. Question here from Stan Sandman. Says, will we see more from Rexxar, story-wise or gameplay-wise, and maybe fight alongside him?
Rexxar is in the max level chapters. You get to see Rexxar. You get to work with him a little bit. So I'm excited about that. I don't think many people have played with Rexxar in the beta yet.
Popular character, obviously. We hear about him all the time. So it's been really cool to get a chance to actually use him somewhere outside of where we've seen him forever.
Right. Awesome. We're working on getting this question up on the screen. It's from Fauzi Joe, hard to say. He says, in Warlords of Draenor, will we have more cinematics in-game? The players need it, please. Smiley face.
I don't know if they need it.
No, it's necessary.
They need it. But we thought that cinematics, like judiciously used, can really create these cool moments. Like the Jade statue collapsing in Pandaria, we felt was really impactful after playing through that.
It's a less is more kind of thing, right?
So taking that lesson forward, we do have some really, really epic cinematic moments. There's just a few, but we try tried to make them all very, very, very important.
The Garrison has really cool upgrade cinematic scenes that happen when you go from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3. We have this really cool cutscene, you know, it's got VO over it and everything. It feels really nice, but that feels like an impactful moment. You're only going to upgrade that Garrison that one time, so we want it to feel cool.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of the zones kind of climax where there's a scene that kind of helps close off the story and really make you feel like you accomplished something. So yeah, and I'll tell you, our in-game cinematics team, those guys are so good this time around.
It's mind-blowing how much better they get every single expansion at what they can do.
So you're going to be really, really happy, I think.
Every time you're like, this is amazing, this is the best anyone has ever, they can't possibly get any better than this. And then next time they're like, no, actually we did these things. And you're like, what? How did this happen? Question here from Cory Marcinka, I believe is how you pronounce that. We talked a little bit about this, asking, will there be anything like the Timeless Isle in Warlords of Draenor?
Actually, it's pretty much a Timeless Isle in every zone.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the concept we were talking about with the max level areas.
Right.
The difference here is that anything you do will contribute to that goal, but not through individual quests. So imagine you go to an area and there's there's stuff on the ground that you can pick up, there's guys you can kill, a rare mob spawns in, you kill that guy, and all of these things fill up a bar, right? But the rare mob gives you a nice big chunk on the bar, right? The collectibles on the ground might give you small little chunks on the bar. So anything you do in that area, which can be done with friends at any time, it changes every single time. So the same stuff isn't always there. We've really set it up so that every time you go, you know, there won't always be that same gameplay, right? That's really the concept there, because we know that you're going to get sent to these places over and over and over, and really our goal is to freshen that experience up, right?
Awesome. Question from Stanley Stuckey says, how long ago did you know that Warlords of Draenor would be the expansion after Mists of Pandaria?
How long did we know? I mean, we were working on Warlords before Pandaria was done, you know? It actually leads into a greater question, which is what we've been trying to do since Pandaria finished is really plan out the expansions further ahead of time, and not just think about what, you know, Warlords of Draenor was going to be, but what is the expansion after that and the expansion after that, and trying to make sure that they make sense and they fit together cohesively, right? So it's something we really took a lot of initiative on after Pandaria to really start thinking about that. You know, we have really strong ideas now on what we want our next expansion to be as well. And we just think that's something that helps the team overall. The entire team can know what we're doing, what we're getting into. Things aren't changing, you know, as we go down the road. It's more like we can establish what we're doing and build up to that next big moment.
We've been saying that we want to come out with content faster. We've been saying it for a long time. And we came out with the patches for Pandaria really fast, but we didn't do a very good job of transitioning the team onto the next expansion fast enough to get it out and continue that pace. So we're really looking forward as how can we do this better? How can we make sure that we can get these out
constant
quicker?
iteration. It's just like everything else we do. We're trying to, you know, just change things up, figure out how can we do that, how can we get the content. The players voraciously, you know, go through our content. No matter how much time we put into it, they still get through it really quick. We know that. So it's just a matter of what's the right amount of content and how quick can we get it out.
Awesome. So another question here from Gungeon90 says, are we going to see Magtheridon in Warlords of Draenor?
I don't think we have Magtheridon.
I don't think we have Magtheridon.
No.
We think not. I'm trying to think if because we have a lot of little references and we have a lot of little callbacks some of the places. So I'm trying to think if we did one with Magtheridon. I don't think we did.
I don't think so either.
Maybe someday we can have him shout at us constantly.
Totally.
Or something like
Get
that.
right back to that.
That would be awesome. All right, so that's about all the time that we have to go through Twitter questions today, here on the show at least. As always, a lot of us, like I'm on Twitter, you guys are on Twitter. Feel free to send us extra questions afterwards. Real quick before we wrap this up, was there anything that either of you guys are just bursting to tell people about that we didn't get a chance to get to today?
We really covered a lot today. I mean, the one thing we didn't talk about probably was Ashran, and I'm super, super excited for Ashran. I really feel like it's our third try at, you know, World PvP Zone. We went through Wintergrass, we had Tolbarad, and this is really that kind of next step of us taking a stab at, let's build something that's awesome for established PvP players, but let's also build something that could give players that might have interest but are a little bit scared a chance to go and try it and maybe get more interested in PvP overall. Really hyped on it. I feel like we did a lot of fresh things. A lot of things are new and are going to feel really cool. So I'm hoping that it goes over really well.
Like a lot of the max level areas, it's a very dynamic battlefield. There's a lot of stuff going on around it.
Different every time you come back.
Yeah.
You know, there's not an overarching win condition necessarily like we had for Wintergrasp and Tolbarad. So it should always feel fresh and always feel like something new is going on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tell them about the nuke. I just learned about the nuke.
The nuke is so cool. So the workshop building has a selection of different gadgets that you can use every day. Every time you level up that building to a new level, you get a selection of new gadgets, right? And so you actually go to the building every day, and the gadget spawned in the building there, and you can pick it up and use it. One of those is called the nuclear. And the nuclear has a day cooldown because it's so powerful. If anyone that's played StarCraft probably has a good idea of what it does. You mark an area on the ground, all of a sudden you see a huge shadow come down, and a big countdown comes down. 5, 4, 3, and the thing just hits, and it obliterates anything in its area. I think it does like 500,000 damage or something like that.
Wow.
But it's got a day cooldown.
I'll be bringing that to Ashran.
But you talk about something that feels like you're breaking the game. I mean, it's so cool. You can't use it very often, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, really cool thing.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. Just go into Ashran and just drop that thing.
Oh yeah,
like,
we've tried to make
cross
everything
fingers,
in Garrison
nobody
work
notices.
in Ashran as much as we can, for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here today. Thank everybody on the stream for watching as well.
Yep.
Keep in mind you can always follow us on Twitter or Facebook at twitter.com/Warcraft and facebook.com/Warcraft. Also, just as a quick shout out, you may have noticed these awesome little mugs sitting here. Those are coming soon
so cool.
to the Blizzard Gear store. Yeah, those are on their way. So that's gear.blizzard.com. A lot of the other like props and stuff that are sitting around back here are available there as well. So definitely check those out. A little Hearthstone and everything too. Yeah, awesome stuff available on the Blizzard Gear store. Yeah, Warlords of Draenor comes out November 13th, worldwide launch.
Yep.
Pretty excited about that myself.
Can't wait.
Hopefully, yeah, everybody is just getting ready to jump into that thing at this
all
point.
the feedback that we've been getting has been awesome. We're watching the forums, we're watching Twitter, so keep it coming.
Big thanks to all our beta players, and thanks to everybody on Twitter for the great questions.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Thanks again so much, everybody, for tuning in today. We'll see you later.
Bye.